Amanda's going to start us off in Omaha, Nebraska. Amanda, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Amanda. How can I help?
I am looking for some advice on how I can stand out in a saturated job market for my field.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
A nurse practitioner.
Okay.
I got certified as a family nurse practitioner a couple years ago, and I kind of feel a little out of things. I've been keeping up my education and that kind of thing, but I haven't actually worked in healthcare for 5 years. The last job I had was as an RN, and then I quit my job because I had two young kids, or I had a young child at home, and I just wanted to finish school for my master's degree, because it ended up taking a lot longer than I was expecting.
Isn't that how life is? So have you tried to apply? Or tell me what's causing you to call me today. Are you bumping up against challenges of not getting interviews, or you're getting interviews and you're not winning? I mean, tell me what's the context? Where do we stand?
I think mainly it's like trying to get an interview. There aren't a lot of jobs available in my area right now, and every time I do find a job that pops up and I apply for it, there's usually like 60 plus applicants for one position.
Got it. Okay.
So it's just really saturated in my area.
Okay, great. So I am so excited about this question because I want you to understand this has nothing to do with you. Your lack of momentum or success in getting interviews has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what you're doing. So what are you doing wrong?
Okay.
You're doing what everybody else does. You see an opening, which there aren't many, by the way. So understand that when you have fewer openings, it's even more competitive. You understand that? You just called it out. So the percentages go down, right? So you are a former RN. That is very impressive. And now you completed the education necessary and you are a nurse practitioner. So you are beyond qualified, yes or no?
Yes, I guess.
Why are you saying yes, I guess?
Most of the applications that I see, they want like at least 2 years of nurse practitioner experience.
Okay, that means, hold on a second. Okay, hold on. So that means you're applying. So now we know you're doing even something else wrong. You were just applying like everybody else, submitting resumes. Probably not using the proximity principle, which says in order to do what Amanda wants to do, she's got to be around people that are doing it in places where it's happening. I'll get into that in a second. But I want to first address this real problem. The biggest problem I'm hearing is, and this happens all the time, you're applying for things that you're not qualified for. Why apply for a job that says you need 2 years experience when you've not done the entry-level nurse practitioner work?
Yeah. Oh, I actually haven't applied for those jobs because I don't have the experience.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I assumed.
But the majority of the jobs that I see come up in my area that don't require a move, they require 2 years of experience.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but we don't need to talk about those. Why are we even, like, you and I don't need to waste our time talking about jobs that's why I made the assumption that you were applying for those things. I don't care about the things that are popping up. I'm caring about the jobs that we need to get you. And we need you to get an entry-level nurse practitioner job, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So the way we go about that is there are very few jobs that are available right now, or maybe just because of its own. I don't know if this is an Omaha thing, or it's just a timing thing right now where there aren't a lot available. So it's highly competitive. In a highly competitive market, Amanda, the way you stand out, which was your question, is relationships. You've got the qualifications and you've got experience in spades. The fact that you were an RN gives you the experience. I don't care if you've been out 5 years or not. You need to believe that and hold your head high. You didn't just forget how to be a nurse and how to do what nurses do because you were at home for 5 years taking care of kids.
Yeah.
You need to remember that and remind yourself that. You're a rock star. You got tons of experience that's relevant for the entry-level nurse practitioner job. So back to the proximity principle, which I created on the show one day. And on the way home one day, figured it out. and crystallize it on a day driving into the office. Then we wrote a book on it. The proximity principle says in order to do what Amanda wants to do, nurse practitioning, she needs to be around people that are doing it, nurse practitioners. I could add to this doctors, RNs who work in places where nurse practitioners are also practicing. And then in places where it is happening. So get in those clinics and doctor's offices and start meeting people. And if you have to, get a part-time job doing reception work. And they go, wait a second, you're qualified to do this. Yeah, I know, but the position isn't available right now, so I wanted to get in. Okay. You start hanging around people and places that are where the work you want to do is being done and people who are doing that work. And here's why you do that. When you're around the right people and in the right places, opportunities knock on your door. They tell you, hey, we have a position to open up soon. Our nurse practitioner is leaving. You need to apply for the job. And then it's all academic, because if they know you really well, in my one scenario where you're working in the clinic, they go, oh, you'd be amazing. Let's just go through the motions, but you're going to get the job. Or they know you and they go, hey, I'm calling you to give you a heads up that this is going to open up. You need to apply. And when you apply, they're also taking your resume in and they're handing it to the doctor or whoever's making the hiring decision and saying, hey, let me tell you about Amanda. And you're at the top of the pile, which means you're guaranteed to get an interview. Yes or no? Yes. You're going to get an interview. And you're going to use the Ken Coleman free How to Win the Interview guide, and you're going to crush it, Amanda, because you've got what it takes. So this is no longer just submitting resumes via websites and naked just submissions. Like, here it is. And you're just a nameless, faceless person. You have got to work this. Do you have a copy of my book, The Proximity Principle?
I do.
Good.
I actually read it the end of last year.
Oh, you're a rock star. Go do it now. I already gave you the plan. You got this.
Yeah.
Listen, Amanda, that's how you break in.
Okay.
It's going to be relationships. Somebody's going to open the door for you, and you're going to jump ahead of everybody else. That's how you stand out. That's the answer to your question. Standing out is about stepping on top of everybody else. And that's not an ugly stepping on everybody else. That's just like, oh, I've got a relationship. I'm stepping on over everybody else. That's the way the world works. It's the way it should work. Amanda, you got this. Go.